mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, you love me and I love you. Putting on for my people, the love for heroes, building community. Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? 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 Hear me now.
Hello, and welcome back. I am your host, Lady Madelyn Patterson. We have my co-host here, Miss Vicki Merriwether.
Thank you.
Yes. How you doing, girl?
Delirious, because I slept like a few hours last night, literally.
That's good. At least you slept a few hours.
Yeah, well, that's the truth.
Right, better than 0 hours.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and you're drinking your water.
I did drink some water.
Oh, she said some. Okay. That's better than no water.
That is.
Okay. Listen, our topic today is, I got to get it right, y'all, womb whisperers, understanding, protecting, and loving your womb.
Yes.
And we got two great guests with us today. I want y'all to introduce yourselves to this audience. Who we got here?
All right, my name is Moe, the owner of Motivate Your Womb. I am based in DeSoto, Texas, and goodness gracious, edit that out. I am based in DeSoto, Texas, herbalist, doula, and waist speed queen.
Hello, everybody. My name is Destiny. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a filmmaker, photographer, cinematographer, producer, all of the above. I'm so excited to be here. And so, yeah, we're going to get into it all.
We're going to get into it. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
As I was thinking about this womb, protecting the womb, what are we really talking about here, ladies? What's really going on with the womb?
Yeah.
Yes.
And right now, you know, we're dealing with a lot of things in our country where our bodies don't appear to be our own.
Right.
And there's a narrative that's out there. But you guys are trying to change the game.
Yes.
And change the narrative and take back ownership of the body. So let's talk about it. What is this thing with this womb
With
thing?
this womb, you know, it's so many different things, different categories.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll just touch on a little bit about what we practice at the Wellness Center. We're going to say the word vagina because that is the correct anatomy. We have vagina paintings all over, big, small, lips, small, because they look so different. And that's another thing. We don't know that vaginas look different. But really, what is your relationship with your vagina? Everyone has a different story. And we just help you to tell the story the way that you know how, and to, you know, make it work for you in your current life.
Okay. You just said something about there's different vagina, maybe shapes and sizes. What if you never looked at your vagina?
Well, we're going to get you there because you have to know what your vagina look like.
Now,
And it's very common, extremely common, that women do not know what their vaginas look like.
right.
They don't. And so, and it's okay, but that's why you have us here to help you get the mirror, prop your leg up. What does your vagina look like?
Wait, what?
That's true.
What you talking about? You talking about doing a
You know,
an exam at home, basically.
yeah, I
Yes.
feel like, too, there is a lot of, like, shame,
Yes.
like, tied to, like, looking at yourself or whatever, and it's just like, but why?
Yeah, why is that we've got this stigma
Yeah.
for women to love themselves, look at
Yeah.
themselves, celebrate themselves?
You know?
Because let's go,
Yes.
let's go, because
And it tickled me because when you said that, I was in my couple class when I was in grad school, and one of the books we read, and I started to bring the name of it, but what the book said was the same thing. Get a mirror, examine. But when I started looking at, and I'm 63, I'll be 64 in a few. They started talking about, and my professor, who is female, started talking about all the different erotic parts, and I'm thinking, I did not know all of that. Y'all so serious,
so true.
because she was talking about and I should have thought about it. Y'all may know, but all of the
Pelvic floor?
yeah, all that stuff that you just don't start feeling things at the clitoris.
At the clit.
Yeah,
Or the,
yeah.
Or the,
Clitoris.
yeah, that piece or the other piece, the inner.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm sleeping.
The vaginal canal.
Yeah, that thing.
Their vaginal
Is the whole. There's like connections and nerves that run all up. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, because they don't teach us that.
No.
And the reason being, I think, is a control issue.
I agree with you on that. And it's not even a race thing.
No.
It's a gender.
I was going to say it's a male thing.
It's a male
you know,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a male thing.
It's a male thing, but it's also, and because we had a slight discussion on it, if I'm a slave, female, they don't want me to view that as good because I'm producing a product from a slave child.
But also, if I'm not a slave, I'm an Anglo woman.
Yeah.
She was property.
Yeah, that
exactly.
all of that
So
stuff. Yeah. You
property.
right.
So you're right. So, and even though we're no longer quote unquote property today, that stigma, that narrative has been embedded, woven.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you. Until I got my hormone pills, I didn't know how to celebrate truly my own body.
But who teaches us that?
Well, you're right. So, because a lot of times we learn from our mate.
Yeah.
You learn from your mate,
And they don't know anything. They don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
But I am now more open in a space where it's like, wow, I didn't even know that.
It was, was that there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also taught from
I'm
various
sharing a little too much.
that we that's okay, that we are
Safe
not
space.
Yeah, this
supposed
is a
to.
safe space.
We're not supposed. It's not supposed to be enjoyable to us.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. I feel like pleasure has only been centered around like male pleasure and them being pleased, but never like really diving or dissecting like pleasure for women and what that looks like, because we haven't been given that privilege in a way to experience pleasure, because like you talk about, like in a way our bodies, our anatomy or whatever is considered to be property, you know, or whatever the case may be. And so I agree.
And we're not even taught that that's a no matter what the shape is, or no matter what the. We're not taught, like you said, celebrate, but we're not taught that that's a beautiful part of our body.
Yes.
Right? And so when I see some of the pictures now that I look at, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a flower. I'm like, well, that's not. That's something. Well, it is, but it's being exhibited as something beautiful instead of something that is to be used and
Or ashamed of, or
ashamed of.
Yeah, the human body in this country.
Yeah.
It's not as we look at it through sexual eyes versus just celebrating the human form. And
Exactly.
we don't really celebrate that.
Yeah. I think there's a museum, right?
Yes, that's where I was going.
Okay.
So it's this museum in Miami. They're based. They just opened up they just opened up an office in London, and it's called the Wall of Vulvas. And I actually applied to have my vagina casted to be on the wall, which I received the email to be accepted. But you go in there, and I think it's like 800 vulvas, and it's all these beautiful different vaginas, but we're taught that it only looks one way.
Yes.
And it's just so many different things. And so that has to start within the home young, to teach young boys and girls different shapes, so that way you won't feel out of place and you know yourself and you're comfortable with yourself. But it's a wall of vulvas, and it's just so many different ones.
So we're traveling to Miami, if y'all didn't recognize it.
that will be there in June.
Yes.
So
I'll send you the information.
please do. And we're going to have that on the show.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
and I mean it
love
from this
that.
perspective. Like, we really have got to, when you go to the doctor, then you say, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't know what your baseline is,
Right.
how can you really
Know what's there.
know something is wrong?
That's true.
And so, with all of the things, so learning our bodies, and going, okay, oh, that feels
Yeah.
different, or
Yeah.
oh, that's what, okay,
Yeah.
or no, now it looks different. You
Do
know,
you know, have you ever thought about this, and maybe you haven't, how many women that have had kids and don't know what their vagina look like? Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so many women. You know, like, that's, there's so many women who have had kids,
And
who have had sex, multiple kids, and
don't even know.
don't know what their vagina.
Okay, but you know, it's because, and it's sad that we have been taught that that's a dirty thing
Yeah.
to
It's a dirty
look at.
thing.
It's dirty, all of it. So you just don't think to take a mirror
well,
and stay and
but
look.
part of it is because you have the magazines that have turned our bodies into objects.
Yeah, true that.
That's
So
true.
Or to
now,
look one way.
Yeah.
Yes, and they look one way.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's what it is. And then if
Yeah.
you look at that, you go, wait, but mine doesn't.
Yeah.
So I guess mine is not as pretty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
or it's accepted as this one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
And even when women have kids, your lips can get bigger. You know, like nobody tells you that.
They
And
don't
so
tell
you're
you
thinking
that.
you're supposed to have this
perfect
whatever
shape,
perfect
yeah.
vagina. There's no perfect shape
Except the one that you have,
except the one
because it's
that you
perfect
have.
for you.
Yes.
But you know what's crazy is, and I'm throwing myself so far up under a bus, but you know we're taught to do breast exams,
Yes.
so
Right.
we have this understanding of what that looks
Yes.
like. But
Right.
when you say even if we don't know what that area feels like, what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be in there,
Yeah.
around there,
Yeah.
then how do we know if something's not right?
Right.
Right.
That's true.
Because you know what we say is, we say, well, he'll let me know. How do you know what that feels like? Well,
Yeah.
it's whatever he does.
Well, we
Right.
Don't get me
You see
started.
what I'm saying? Well, because we're about to go there. Because I
I'm
mean,
over here like,
because until you do your breast exams,
Yeah.
you like, oh, I feel in love, or no, this is normal.
Yeah.
I've always had this.
Yeah.
But if you've never felt, and then the doctor comes, you go, oh, I got a lump. So same thing with your
Yeah.
vagina.
Yeah.
You know, you should know what yours feels like. You should know what it
what it acts like.
acts
Yeah.
like, what it doesn't like,
and you should know all the parts.
all the parts. See, okay, so full transparency.
Go ahead.
Since now I'm on these pills,
She's on a pellet, y'all.
On the pellet?
It's
Okay.
a pellet.
We gotta
it's a
get into
pellet,
this
yes.
Yes. Can I go today? How do you? Okay, go ahead.
So this pellet that has been inserted has infused my body with hormones and vitamins that have opened up areas.
A
Yeah.
whole new world.
A whole new world. Right. But I gotta tell you, I did not realize there were parts of me.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
I had to tell my husband, what the heck did you do? Because I didn't know that was there.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier.
That's
There's
so
so
funny.
many
Yeah.
things, or so many. So many nerves in
Yeah.
8,000.
the clitoris.
How many?
The
8,000.
clitoris is
8,000 nerves.
that it doesn't start just there. It
Yeah.
runs throughout,
Yeah,
and you'd be
true.
surprised.
I was
That's
surprised.
very true.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
And pleasantly
Yeah. Yeah.
surprised. But then like I said, now I'm like, okay, now I can now identify for my own self.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
So will you name the parts of the vagina so I can understand? Because I've heard of the G-spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
So-
some people still don't know where it is.
Yeah. True.
Because it's not just the clitoris.
No.
Right.
So the outside is it's not the the vagina. It's the vulva area.
Okay, so the outside's called the vulva.
Yeah, the outside's the vulva. You have your clitoris. You have your urethra. That you have your urine. Because a lot of people think the vagina hole and the urine where you release is the same thing, and it's not. And then you have your lips, and then the vaginal canal is the actual vagina. Then you have your cervix. So the vagina is not even. I wish I had I have the one of those.
Yeah, the little.
Yes, but the vagina is not the outside. It's the vaginal canal where the baby comes through the vaginal canal to enter, and then the outside is the vulva.
But the parts of those nerves are from that cause pleasure or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They run. It's like they don't just. They're longer and more extensive than what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not just concentrated in one area.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
what I found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still learning about the pelvic floor and fascia, but I had an internal pelvic floor fascia release, and the physical therapist, when she was going around the vagina, she felt like knots. And so when she released the fascia, which is like the layer underneath the skin, she was like, you're having fear here, you're having tension here. And when she did that, I was able to get my periods to be regulated again.
Wait. Let's back up. Back up. She said you're having fear here.
Yes, and I had knots, internal knots near my anal, because when I get anxiety or when I get upset, I get constipated. And so she was able to feel all of that. She was able to feel all of the resentment that I had, like everything. And I didn't tell her absolutely anything. She didn't pick my brain. She didn't do anything. I just went in open-minded. And that really changed my life and made me want to know more about the pelvic floor, because it goes hand in hand with the vagina and the vulva, and having kids or fibroids or menstrual disorders. It's like all tied. It's this whole world.
What is it called again?
The pelvic floor.
The pelvic floor.
Like we're sitting right now, and we're probably like to hold your legs, so you're probably like squeezing. And so
that's called the key.
Well, that's only if you have a ball to do that, or if you squeeze kegels. If you squeeze, but you can squeeze too much and your pelvic floor is too tight. So it's like we have to be able to like learn how to release, which is something I'm learning. Something to like actually just release. So instead of I'm doing this, but like just release.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's the same concept as when people do certain stretches, and they go in and then they start they have a lot of emotion behind it, because it starts to release.
So because it holds a lot of emotions in the fascia, in the pelvic floor, years and years.
Well, I think that's what I learned. I think on one of our shows where our trauma is infused in our bodies, and if you don't even realize that. But then it manifests itself in physical challenges. So you were having those issues, and she was able to,
And I was telling Destiny about it, because I was like, I see a lot of white clients to do it, not black women. And if you mention anything of that sort, a lot of times to black women, it's a no. It's because we're still dealing with calling a vagina a vagina. So to actually go a little bit deeper and speak about the pellets or the pelvic floor and internal fascia release, our mind's going to go to this dirty method and it's not so whatsoever.
Because we've been taught, and it's sad that the vagina itself is seen as just a sexual organ. And we're taught that sex is dirty outside of what we've been taught. And because of that, then why would we bring attention to what we need to do? And I think too that there's so much trauma just written into us that it takes some awareness and a lot of internal work trying to get that undone.
I'm
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even in the conversation that I've had with you today and
Yeah.
the things that I'm beginning to understand, the comments or some of the understanding I've had even with clients from the past, is like so many of my women clients, my female clients, have such a disconnect because they don't have the understanding, the awareness that yes, if you've been molested or if you've been raped, because again, I have a hard time differentiating between the two.
yeah.
Or if you've had some trauma sexually that in order to heal, you have to look at all of that.
Yeah.
And so much of our mindset and our how we carry ourselves and our confidence level is tore down because of that. So, sometimes I, just wonder if I can sit with a client and begin to have these conversations. And I do when they're open to it, just real conversations about your, let's move beyond your trauma, but let's deal with it as well.
Yeah.
And so much of it comes from childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we're having this today because it's opening my eyes. Just the pellet opened up some things, but in this day, to learn how to fully love your physical body,
Yeah.
I think that is so key.
Yeah.
We're often wearing a mask and we're walking around, all these things, but we're dying inside.
True.
And yeah, I'm ready for also the power. I'm ready for the next. So let's go to the next component. We talked about how would we protect our vagina. How do we protect?
I would say saying no. No to, things that we know our bodies may negatively, respond to when it comes to like our vagina health, we can protect in that way. We can also protect in a way of like listening, and I feel like even for me, like when it comes to like reconnecting with my vagina, I feel like for me, I've had to, in a way, even apologize, for like my own mistreatment, but also, just not listening. Because I feel like for me, even when I think about like my womb space, like me knowing certain things that I should do, but ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it. And so now it's like, can I trust you? And so when it comes to like reconnecting, it's almost kind of like when I think about like reconnecting like with my inner child and that essence of like, relearning it, but like treating it as like a person that I actually love, that I actually care about. So when I think about protecting in that way, I would say that. Like I said, no to inviting people, into that space that that we know that doesn't really honor us, that doesn't really respect us, that doesn't really, like, can you really like hold me fully as I can hold myself? And you may not necessarily be able to, fully, but just being very, selective in that type of way as well.
But what you said was protecting that space.
Yeah.
And it's not just a physical protection.
Exactly.
That we need to understand. And, one of the questions that when I was watching the documentary, which I want y'all to kind of give us an introduction to as well, won't y'all do that? And then
Okay. So we do have a documentary called Moe's Vagina Talks. She is the creator, director. I'm the co-director, producer, and editor of it. And pretty much it is a documentary that shares stories of different people in different walks of lives, in different generations, talking about, their experiences with their vagina, the disconnection and reconnection, but also dismantling myths about the vagina, and just really creating and starting conversations about the vagina, womb health, and how it relates to not just like our anatomy, but to our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health, and so much more.
You know, because I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to even go there. I don't know. I might later on mention it, but right now I'm not. We had a show one time, and the word worship came in. So we talked about spirituality.
Yeah.
And it was about
Yeah.
the sexual aspect of it, but intimacy. But one of the questions that came up that, as I watched it, was, have I met my vagina? When I looked at that. One of the things that was interesting for me to hear. And you talk about the mirror and the touch and all that, and I was like, ooh, how many, you know, and I think what's really sad for me is how many of us have left this earth who had not.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then how we pass on, you know, we're talking about generational curses or negative patterns, how many of us have begun to correct that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
with our children or those that are coming after us.
But here's what's interesting in that when I'll just use me, when I started to, after the pellet and starting to realize right back to loving me again,
Yeah.
I walked differently.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. And yeah, because I think it's for any, and I'm not quite sure because all of us are different.
Right.
But even when I started having the thought of my hysterectomy, now when I went into menopause and the cycle stopped, I was like celebrating, thank you God, it's done. For real. I mean, you know, and a lot of people don't do that because they think that's the end of life, you know.
Right.
But for me, it was like, no,
Yeah.
I didn't see that because I'd done some of the research and some of the reading, and I knew some things.
Yeah.
But so many of us think that that's the end of our
Womanhood.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
And so when you start talking about having a hysterectomy and a full one at that, ovaries included, which I had, I mean, it wasn't as devastating, but I know that I did have a grief or a little loss in that because, you know, it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
And I'm not at that stage where I ever want children again. I'm not birthing them anyway. I don't even want to adopt. Let me put it to you like that. Not at this stage of the game. Girl, look, I got things to do for real. Outside, I've done that, been there, and I'm thankful, but I'm past it. So when you look at all of that, I had to question. I had some feelings that I had to deal with, and because again, we don't connect that is such an important part of us, you know, and it's crazy. You know, it's okay, it's gone. So what? But it's not just it's gone. So what? What's leaving us, and how does it? In our mindset, what does that mean? What does it mean for our emotional state, for our physical? Because it's all tied together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so. That piece right there, and so I think it saddens me some days. It's like, have I met my vagina? Not until I was invited. And oh gosh, this book is called Pleasure something. And I think it's, and I'd have to think of the person that wrote the book, but they did encourage. And one of our assignments in class was go home, get a mirror, and look. And I was like, this is what they told us to do in grad school. And it's not like I was given permission to.
Right.
But it was the idea that this is something that we need to do.
Yeah.
Did you complete the assignment?
Girl, yeah.
Okay, I was wanting to make sure.
Yeah. So how did you feel like in that moment?
Surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like, especially when they started talking about all the areas, and so I was like,
Yeah.
But again, I didn't know what all of that was supposed to feel like, what it was supposed to look like. So I just didn't know.
Yeah.
It was a foreign part of my body. I never associated it with me.
Yeah.
Is that making sense?
Yeah.
No,
I'll tell you,
perfect sense.
when we were in school, we used to get health classes.
Right.
I don't think they do that anymore.
No,
But in health, they only showed you one look.
they did. That's why we
It
all
was
thought it was
pink.
the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they showed you the male
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Exactly.
So it wasn't even, it was as if this is it.
Yeah.
And basically, I probably had a subliminal message that, well, mine don't look like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something wrong with it. It ain't
Same.
pretty.
Mine's not even pink. So
Yeah, mine
ain't pink.
either. Exactly. I'm
But-
shocked about it.
Yeah.
I know.
And the curtain does match, and the drapes do match the carpet. If there is some carpet, anyway.
Oh my God.
You are hilarious.
You made me think about something, and you said how many women that have left this earth that have never seen their vagina. So my initial reaction was like, I'm sad.
Yeah.
It made me sad, but the second right after was like it motivated me. And what the motivation of my mind, just my wheels are turning right now. I'm just trying to keep calm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not doing enough. Enough as in like now when I do my next woman tension class, I want the ladies to think about themselves, the moms and grandmas and great grandmothers, and let's give a moment of silence for them leaving and not being able to see and honor their vagina the correct way. So thank you for bringing that up, because I never thought about that. All the work that I've been doing and things I've been learning, even newly about the pelvic floor, I never thought about that. So my wheels are turning. I'm like, okay, I got some work to
I
do.
love
The word.
that aspect of the workshop. It's paying homage back to our ancestors and releasing them as well, and then allowing us to move forward, breaking whatever curse, bondage, whatever those things are, and moving forward.
Yes.
Well, I think I like the word
Like
that you
that.
used, honor,
Yes.
Yeah.
because we've not done that. We don't honor that portion of our bodies because it's been the opposite of that. And to be able to say that,
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine being at a women's retreat, a women's
talking about
workshop
honoring.
at the church, and said you need to honor your
Your
vagina?
vagina. Honor your vagina.
You know what?
But we need
No,
Now listen.
I have a story.
Okay,
Go ahead.
You go
I know what you're
you already
thinking.
know, but go ahead. Tell me what you go story.
Okay, so my good friend, her parents have a church in down south Louisiana, and so she said, "Mo, I want you to come do talk about womb care, vagina care." So my first answer was like, no, and then I was like, why not? This will be the perfect space to talk about this. Now I wanted to set my boundaries because one, I wanted to make sure that I was respectful to her and what she was doing, but it was also giving back. And I was like, okay, I know how to tone things down where I can speak to the young ladies, but what I'm asking, and it must be completed, is that it is the correct anatomy of vagina. I'm not calling it absolutely anything outside of vagina. We agree, right? We had our meetings, all of this. I'm excited, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to do this, make it fun, interactive. Get to the church, and I look in the flyer, Mo, flower talks. And in that moment, I said, what? And I said, God, forgive me for my thoughts right now. But I had to make a clear decision. Do I not go on? Do I leave? Or do I stay true to myself and just have them to just be upset with me? So I get up there and I was like, okay, y'all, I know it says flower talks in the flyer, but it's a vagina. And I got so many frowns, and at first it almost threw me off, but I was like, "Oh, stay the course, stay the course, stay the course." These women need this information.
They do.
And so I was like, it is the correct anatomy of vagina, and I talked about bacteria and yeast infections and traumas, and I really couldn't even go by what I had already planned. It was like freestyle because I was just so nervous, but I had to stay the course, so it was the only way I could. And I had a booth set up. I sold out my booth. The women rushed over there. Now, here's the thing. Even though I sold out, they were still scared to talk to me. So what I did, and this was freestyle, I said, and if anybody wants a consultation, one-on-one privately, here's a free discount, and you book this and I will talk to you. Mostly all of them booked with me. 101. I agree with what you were saying. I've been dealing with bacteria and yeast. I've been dealing with hormones. I had a miscarriage. I was this and like so many things,
Yes.
but we need it there. And yes, we can change up the lingo. You know, it's okay, but to deem it as nasty and dirty, we can't do that. We just can't.
But look how you've been treated. Because I was thinking, go ahead.
I was going to say some of this is from generations.
For sure.
So
Yes.
trying to navigate and be respectful of what may have happened or that generation.
Yeah.
I liked how you were able to kind of weave that, allowing God to continue to speak to you.
And I was scared too, because
Of course, absolutely.
I could see them. You know, I was like,
But you know what you brought up, and I think two things. So I laugh with your good friend Sia, because she buys these products, right? And she's she does her research.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm growing up. You do the dish, you clean out, you know, the whole nine, and then and all of a sudden he's talking. No, that's not a good thing to do.
Right.
And so that's fine because I stopped doing it, but and just took care of myself, drinking the water and making sure I use the right products. But even with that, she has the oils and the correct soaps or whatever cleansers, and I'm looking at her like, what is all this stuff? I mean, because she upped the game. You know, I told you you do not dish. You take care of your body and it'll take care of you.
Yeah.
But she buys certain products that,
So is it kind of like how we have all these different products for our face?
Yes, ma'am.
We have certain different products for our vagina.
because you want the good and bad. Well, you want the good bacteria. When we think of bacteria, we think of only bad bacteria.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you wash away, dish away your good bacteria, pH balance, hormone issues. What else? There's something else I'm looking for. But we want the good bacteria, but we don't know that. Who teaches that?
And so you end up washing away, doing yourself more harm.
Yeah.
Because trying to get clean.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that still need to be there.
Yeah.
Back in the day, when people had unprotected sex, women,
Yeah.
did they dish with Clorox?
Oh wow.
Bleach.
Yeah.
Bleach, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how crazy is that?
Yeah.
But that's what we were taught to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, look, it's even with abortions, and that's why one of the things we have to really be careful about is people were using wire hangers.
Yeah.
And
dying.
you're destroying things in your body because you're not doing things you're not learning that this is destructive.
Yeah.
So we end up destroying certain things, and it comes up, have I met my vagina? But the craziness of it is, and I did speak with y'all a little earlier, is how I met my vagina.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I did say, you know, I don't have a problem with being very transparent. Well, how I met mine was very traumatizing. Going back before I was 7, having several different individuals. I have molested on various occasions by several different people, and it was continuous. It wasn't something that just stopped until I got a certain age. And so you start thinking about, well, how did I meet my vagina? And if I met it that way, and then I don't understand that causes me to view my entire body
Right.
Yeah.
in a negative way, and it causes me to protect myself
Right.
in very unhealthy ways, or not.
And then also it creates a stigma in your mind when your body wants to enjoy.
Right.
Your mind is like, no,
I can't.
you're conflicted.
I'm not supposed
Not
to.
supposed to be enjoying it. Why am I enjoying
Yeah.
this thing?
Yeah. True. That's very
Yeah, and so the pelvic floor is holding these emotions, until you've done the work and, release where you can talk about it. But up until that point, the pelvic floor is just holding all of this. The fascia, the muscle, the memory is just holding all of this.
The muscle, the memory is there.
Muscle memory. 'Cause that's a real thing.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
think about muscle memory in other ways.
Yeah.
But I never thought about muscle memory from a traumatic perspective. Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It
So much
is.
of us is tied to that. And then I think, too, generationally, how we met our vaginas, especially as black women, and that have been impacted by the slave trade or just slavery itself, or how devalued we were in society coming through certain time frames.
Right.
We were viewed as what?
Yeah, property.
Yeah, and then I forget her name. It's the woman that people would inflict certain scientists or researchers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know he's. I hate I forgot her name.
Exactly.
It starts with a B.
But we know.
But they, the research that they did saying that no, black women don't feel pain.
Right. Exactly.
She
Like,
did.
and
Yeah.
which goes back to some of the work you guys do as doulas.
Yeah.
And the reason I encourage people to go see doulas and midwives, because
Yeah.
we don't understand some of the generational things that have occurred to keep us from understanding who we are as black women fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about something when I was 12, and my mom, she taught me everything about sex and STDs and partners and say no and, you know, just really, excuse me, don't do anything you don't want to do. And parents did not want their kids around me because they assumed that I was having sex. And I didn't have sex until I was like almost 18, 19. It was a horrible experience. But I would have people, boys and girls, come to me, Mo, hey, I'm dealing with this. And I'm like, oh, well, let me figure it out. I'm making, because a couple years past, I'm making appointments for them to go see the gynecologists. I'm a teenager. I'm making appointments. Mo, I had a miscarriage or abortion can. I was like, okay, well, you come to my house and we'll do what we can. Guys, I think it's something crawling down there, Mo. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but let me make the appointment for you. And parents did not want their kids around me. But I'm happy that my mom did teach me those things, because a lot of my friends had kids at 12, 13, 14.
Wow.
They were already parents at that age. Yes, in a small town. They already had kids at the age, but you don't want your kids around me, you know. And I just thought that was insane. But I'm so happy that even though my mom didn't know everything, she did what she could. And when I first had sex, she knew. And the next day, she dropped me off at, I had a job for summer. I ran out and started crying. She said, what's wrong? I said, I had sex. She said, oh, I know. She said, I was just waiting for you to tell me. But to be able to be like, I'm going to tell my mama and not be scared. I was more so ashamed or like I'm going to disappoint her. But she was like, oh, I already knew. And the same happened with my niece. Growing up, we taught my niece everything. And I'm like, when you're ready to have sex, you come to me so we can get you on birth control, which then now we know that was horrible for the body as well. But my nephew, her son is now 12. He knows about periods. He knows not to embarrass young girls. Like, so I see the generational thing is just like
I
going.
love that.
Yeah.
So for me, there was a show called Different Strokes. Back in my day, they would tell you when there is a parental advisory what's going to this. So we're going to talk about this topic. And I remember my mom saying, Madelyn, come and watch this show. They're going to talk about sex. Okay. So I watched the show, and it was over. You have any questions? No. Okay. But because for her, that was not a topic they talked about in the home.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was, she didn't know how to have a conversation with me. It was watched, the Different Strokes episode where they're talking about this topic.
Yeah.
So I love that we're now in a space where now people are feeling more freedom, liberty, to have real, honest conversations. Listen, it's out there. The kids are seeing it anyway.
Yeah.
I want to get it from me
Right.
versus what they see out there, and why not have that
That conversation.
conversation?
Yeah, and to teach that it's okay
It's
for
okay.
it to feel good for you
That
to.
too.
Yeah.
My mother, when my son, and this is a boy thing, because, well, no, it may have been both. Because the kids,
When they're
children, babies are going to play with what
Yeah.
feels good.
Yeah.
So they
Yep.
hit that spot. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Very true.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, because they can't.
They do.
Which
Yes.
is, yeah.
It's
Yes.
a natural thing. And my mother would say, Vicki, stop them from doing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, my mom, not. Because
Yeah.
to them, if I do that, that's going to make them feel ashamed.
Yes.
And I don't want to do that. So they
Or that the
play away.
eyes.
With, I mean,
That's so funny. Yeah.
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 I mean, but we do. We stop those things. It's like, so how do you meet your vagina? And I think for me, one of the things, the first word that popped up into my mind when I heard the have you met your vagina, it was the how did I meet it, and it was through horror. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrifying.
Yeah.
And taught me a different message
Yeah.
that has probably shaped part of me up into this existence. And so it's. Yeah, because I started thinking about, oh man, this is so tied to a lot of the work that I want to do with women.
Yeah.
And I wonder too when I talk, I know having those conversations with some of the men that we've had on the show, for them to have those conversations with. Yeah, you already know. We have a male therapist that we work with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's tell them about the men that came up to us at the film.
So we
film
had
screening.
a film screening in LA last week. And after, there were so many men that came to us to talk about, just how it really opened up their mind to like the experiences of like of their moms or sisters or mothers who had hysterectomies or struggling with fibroids and things like that. And then wanting to have conversations, wanting to know wanting to hear their stories about their vaginas, and just so many other things. So I do believe and agree that bringing men here or to have the conversation or different conversations about these things is really important, because it's like they are also a part of rebuilding, the narrative of these things and also how they view it. You know what I'm saying? So I think aligning that together would be perfect. Yeah.
I had a couple of things I had questions on. I'm not quite sure our timing because I'm not paying attention to that. But when we were at the house, we were talking about sexuality versus sensuality. I want you to touch a little bit on that. And then one of the things, as a celebration of our vaginas too, is it's a term that you use in the documentary called the portal of life.
The portal of life.
You do the sexuality,
Okay,
I'll do the portal.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna leave that portal. But no, in regards of like the difference between sexuality and sensuality, I think that was something that I thought was really great that one of the cast members brought up in the documentary, because for me, I felt like in this stage of my life, that was something that I was figuring out and discovering, but also I feel like just reconstructing like certain narratives and mindsets and perceptions that I had about sexuality and sensuality, because for me, sensuality is about us as women, our feminine energy, our essence. You know what I'm saying? And it can be sexy, but it doesn't mean that it's sexual. And so for me, I feel like I was coming out of like the shame and the guilt of embracing my sensuality, because it is deemed as a sexual thing or the way in which people may view it. But it's just a part of like our natural energy, a power that we've been given. And so for me, it's something to, embrace and to discover and allow it to just be, because I feel like it also just plays a part in a lot of different aspects of our life when we think about the way that we think, when we think about our emotional health, our needs, and just so many other things. So for me, the difference between sexuality and sensuality. Sensuality is more so in connection to our essence, to our soul, to our being. Yeah.
Because we'll be doing another episode that will kind of talk about that.
I love that. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
I want to stay right there for just a minute.
Uh-oh.
Because I think people misconstrue, misunderstand
Yeah.
a woman who's sensual and comfortable, and they mix it up for that. She's
Yeah.
Or an invite.
Or invite. Yeah.
yes,
That too.
and versus a celebration of wow, she's owning 100% of her,
Yes.
and she's walking in that room, and
The energy
and
shifts.
the energy
Right.
shift. And you know what? I can be like, man, she's without being attracted,
Right.
but she's
Yeah.
giving off this,
Exactly.
and that's
Motivation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and men have that too.
Yeah.
No, they
yeah. Yeah.
Men can be
Yeah,
sensual
Very
Yeah.
sensual.
versus sexual.
Yeah.
So, and there really is a difference.
Very big difference.
There's a difference in that. And
It just brings about, if you have somebody that walks in fully in who they are and owns, especially when it comes to the feminine energy, and you're talking about men do have
Yeah.
a certain,
right.
but if you see somebody that walks in that fully,
Yeah.
it changes what the room feels like.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Yes. And even in her, like I feel like I'm coming into mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it is. It's an
Like,
invitation.
it
you
is.
know?
Like I am like I'm feeling 100% female.
Yeah.
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 And it's and
And that's
celebrating
okay. And
it.
I'm celebrating. And that doesn't mean I'm wearing dresses.
I was gonna say it's not even about what you
and
wear.
color.
It has
It has
nothing
nothing
not
to
at
do with
all.
my
Yeah.
attire.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has 100% to do with my being.
Yeah.
Right. You have on a sweatsuit and be like,
Okay.
Yes.
So pretty.
Yes.
Okay.
And see, and I think that's where the narrative
Yeah.
has been shifted to where
Yeah.
that confidence has been deemed as
Yeah.
sexual. Or
Exactly.
she's trying to be too sexy. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that means she wants to have a
Yeah.
physical
Yeah.
interaction.
Yeah.
No, I can just
Yeah.
be good with me.
Dr.
Okay.
My physician and Dr. Clark, she says because when I go in to get my hormones, and sometimes the pellet, and sometimes even when we just in regular conversation, she'll say she's talking, and I was like, she's going to start talking to you, and then she'll say she's going to start talking to them, and I was like, she's just going to start speaking.
She's yelling.
Well, and
Not in a bad way.
no, and it's almost like there's a voice that's
Yes.
being, there's a voice that's coming out, and like you said, it's something that's shifted inside myself that I can begin to feel,
Yeah.
and it's quite crazy because I was telling my son and thinking about it, even at this stage in my life, it's like, man, I love my life at this point, and it's like a coming into self.
Yeah.
Yes.
And being able to acknowledge all of me
Yeah.
without feeling shame for any of it. You know,
Yes.
and
It's still your womb story.
it's
Yes.
still my own story.
Yeah.
Is that song that says it's written all over your face?
Yeah,
You don't have to
yeah.
say a word. Literal. Since you started that, your continence
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
changed.
Come on now with the blonde hair.
Yes, everything changed, and that was made me go, wait, I need some of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's growing up, even because we do a lot of body shaming,
Yes,
and even when I was at this stage, I'm just as I lose more weight, it's not about my what I look like. It's about my knees. To be honest with you, because the weight had been so much on my knees, it was like, but and I was unhealthy. But I don't think there's some women who carried the heavier,
Yeah.
the statuesque. My great aunt was one, my auntie, and she was always very statuesque, but she was a force of nature.
Yeah.
And so to be able to view us that way and not look at it as it's just something that I used to love to dance, and I stopped because of some of the weight and because I didn't feel comfortable in my body.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, I feel the need to move again
Yeah.
in that way.
yes.
And so it's crazy because the older I get is
The more freedom you
I'm
want,
feeling.
yes.
Yeah. And so it's amazing that we start to really begin, that I've become more aware
Yeah.
of all of me.
Yeah.
There's another one you need to talk about.
Yeah.
The portal of life
Yes.
is very near and dear to me because I cannot have kids. And so that's why when people come into the center, outside of kids and intercourse, what relationship do you have with your vagina? And that's a question that I had to ask myself, which is why I started asking everyone else. So the portal of life, I'm a doula and birth educator. I've had many babies. I'm like a grandma at this point, I feel like. I've helped bring many babies into this world. Some that have made it, some that have not. So I've also lost babies as well. So I have experienced both sides. So outside of that, I've also birthed businesses, ideas, love, like all of these things have been birthed. And so the portal of life can be absolutely anything that you want it to be. It doesn't have to be kids. And that just something I had to reprogram my mind. When I was 24, I decided to go travel the world. And well, when are you going to get married and have kids? And when so it's just instilled in my brain. So when I got into my 30s, I was like, oh, wait, I don't have kids. Well, let me see. And the doctor's like, oh, actually, you can't have kids. So I had to reprogram. And sometimes I may, I'm like, oh, I wish I had it. I'm like, well, actually, I like sleeping into 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I have to think about the things that I love about my life and that I am a mom. I am a birthing mom. I am the life, the resource, like the creator, like all these things I've birthed. So that's kind of like my spin, my take on it for all my mamas that suffer from infertility or miscarriage,
But you said something, we often say it in church, because
Whatever you.
Go ahead.
Wait, that's scripture, but what he started with the birth, which would you go
Well,
to?
no, I wouldn't. You can take it to the scripture because you probably know. But I think we often say what we give birth to.
Yes.
And it is a creative spirit.
Yeah.
What am I giving birth to?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
men
the
don't
scripture.
give birth.
Right.
Women give birth. And so
Right.
what am I giving birth to? And there's a creative aspect of me that I'm giving birth to. What am I carrying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how you said for women who may not have birthed a child, but they've birthed whatever that thing is. That's a great mindset shift because many times we focus on what we can't, and as a woman, we're supposed to have children and all the air quotes, but there's a immense pressure to have children and go down that path. But if that's not able, now it's like, now what?
Well, and and I tell people, if they want to get technical, I've had a C-section and birthed fibroid tumor babies. And so and they put me on the maternity floor. So, they have, it's called myomectomy, but it's an abdominal cut. And they cut out the fibroid tumors, and it was like almost 7 centimeters too, and then baby cysts. And they pulled those out, put me on the maternity floor, and the nurse came in, oh, congratulations. And my mom was like, she didn't have a baby. So I know what that feeling feels like. And I also have seen something that birthing moms or birthing parents have not ever seen and will not ever see. The baby head forming to come out of their vagina portal of life. I get to see that. So I'm like, I'm having this baby too. So it just, I just had to pick and choose, like, which way do I want to go about this?
But you birth a business. You birth a thought. You birth a program. We birth things. What am I giving life to?
Right.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your journey from that revelation after the doctor made that statement and your journey to where you are today. And the reason why I want to hear that is because many times we receive that negative diagnosis or report, and then we stop.
Yeah.
We feel stuck, or that's it. But you did something different with that. Tell us about that journey.
Yes, so the journey has been up and down. To be told that you cannot have kids, or okay, we just had the surgery, you only got 6 to 12 weeks to get 6 to 12 weeks to do what? To get pregnant, you know? And I was like, I should have had kids when I was a teenager like everybody else. Like, this is what I'm saying to myself. Oh, I should have had kids instead of traveling the world. I should have been with this person and got married and been unhappy, but at least I would have had kids. And I was like, really, Mo? Like, really? And so I was asleep one day and I woke up. I'm like, I'm just going to start a business, Motivate Your Womb. And I played with the name. I didn't have the name at first. And I was like, oh, Motivate kept coming. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, oh, MOE. TIVATE. So Motivate. And then I also was like, I'm going to start Vagina Talks. And this is not going to be sexual, but it's going to be good and give a place to speak to and safe space, but educate as well. So really, I just have to figure out what made me feel better. Not necessarily thinking or knowing how far this was going to go, like to this seed right here. It was just like, how can I make myself feel better? What still make me feel like I have a purpose here? Because it was a point where I just gave up. I'm like, I'm just going to bleed out. And I did make a list for my mom to call people just in case I did pass away. So to be like, okay, this makes me feel better. And that was that.
But I think even being able to tell that story, there's so many women that make a decision to die, literally, physically, because it's more important for me to give birth to a child than for me to live. And not understanding that there's a possibility that my life has purpose.
Yeah.
That's not just tied to having children. My life has importance.
Yeah.
And it does not mean that because I don't have, because so much of our lives as women, our purpose, our power, our importance is tied to the ability to have children. And that's not, our lives are more than that.
Absolutely.
It's 100% more than that. And so, for me, listening to your story or hearing that, it's like it gives incentive, the motivate piece, for me to become aware that my life is more than a childbearer.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, that's important, but it's not more important to me than my life. And so many women make the decision to literally do the opposite of what you did. I'd rather die. You know, I'd rather just give my life. I'd rather have this child knowing I'm putting my life on the line.
Yeah.
But you know what? So many women have done that.
Exactly.
And have died.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you.
Yes, most definitely.
For the bravery and the strength that you have and you're exhibiting.
I'm not a crybaby.
You are helping us today. I wish I had some
I got
tissue.
it.
You are helping us today. And I applaud you and I celebrate you and I see you. So thank you so much. I know this is difficult.
Yeah.
It's a work.
But Lord, that just...
And that's why the conversations have, I don't know what, I'm still not paying attention to time, because there's one thing that y'all talk about is the rebirth of the womb.
Yeah.
What does that entail? What does that mean?
The rebirth for me, where I'm at, is learning more about the pelvic floor, fascia, emotional memories good memories or memories we may have forgotten that we need to remember to do the healing process. So the rebirth is pelvic floor, fascia, and our new film that we'll be working on for me to just put myself out there and be sensual, which is not sexual, and I'm not inviting anybody to anything but just how I feel about myself. I want to feel in my mind how I see myself, so I'll be just displaying more of that and just like a big bang, wow, like here I am, it's me.
I love it. And we're going to definitely be talking about these conversations and doing something where we're bringing in people from overseas,
Yeah.
worldwide. I mean, I just think this is more than just four women talking.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, this is bigger
Much
than
bigger.
that.
Yeah, because I think the more we learn, the more we become aware of, just aware of the beauty of who we are from the bottom up.
And it's going to change as we age.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's important to kind of embrace that journey as we're going. And I'm like, I'm embracing. I'm about to be having my birthday this weekend. Like, well, I'm about to be 57. Wow, 57.
Wow.
I was thinking.
Something coming to me.
But you know, I am like, yes, I am 57.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. And but you know, but we have to get to that point to where we're able to say, you know, I'm embracing who I am.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
All of it, even my vajayjay.
Come through.
Yeah, vagina.
Vagina.
Yeah.
That's right. See? I'm guilty.
Yes.
No, you're healing.
Yes.
I'm healing.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, we hope that you guys have heard something today that will inspire you to get to know your vagina, meet your vagina if you haven't, and then celebrate your vagina that is a part of you. Gosh, Moe and Destiny.
Yeah.
Y'all, we got to do this again.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this too before you end is I'm a creature. God created every last aspect, every last nerve, every last detail of me, including my vagina.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So call it what it is.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's reclaiming it. Like,
Oh my gosh, yes.
reclaiming it.
So we do thank you for having coming and talking to us.
Helping us,
Yeah.
you know, just reclaim that. And
Because it's yours.
it is mine.
Come on.
I'm being sensual.
That's my friend right here, y'all. My good sister. I love that deal though, yeah.
But I love this. Thank you guys again. Light, love, and happiness to everybody. And we thank Jovette as always, being our producer on this, getting us going. Moe and Destiny will be back again.
Yes.
To talk more about motivating
Listen.
your womb. Yes,
Come
ma'am.
on.
We got some more conversations.
Yes, we do. Oh yeah, we have
We got some more conversations. This is the year of, what is this year of?
realness,
Okay, authenticity.
authenticity,
authenticity.
transparency.
Wait, what did she
She said
say?
the year of the vagina.
Say it one more
Okay,
time.
Say
One
it
more
again
time.
now.
The year of the vagina.
Okay.
Year of
Come
the
on.
vagina.
We gonna do a Jovette talk on that?
You know what?
Don't play with me.
You know what?
Oh my God.
Sign it out.
Yeah,
Go ahead.